mind games. Play mind games with yourself. So I know everyone has various kinds of pastimes. Some of you play online games on your phone, your computer, or your PS5 or something. But if you want to manifest, play mind games. Neville Goddard says, reality as we see it is an echo of things that first occurred in our minds. Other teachers in this space call reality shadows of our imagination. And many teachers of manifestation, including Neville Goddard himself, says that imagination and daydreaming is actually the process of creation. And truly, all the objects that we use on a day-to-day basis that we have today that perhaps are not available 10 years or 50 years ago, these were all created from the imaginations of people. They were willing to hold on to that image until they became a reality. So if all the great inventors could hold on to a certain image in their mind and make it into a reality, what is stopping you from doing the same? There could be some goal of yours, and I would love to hear what is that goal down below. What is that pestering goal? What is that thing that at the back of your head, it's that noise that you always hear, all right? You know that your higher self is always telling you, get this done, get this done, get this done. And you're like, I know it. I just haven't figured out how to get it done. But if you can even visualize yourself doing this thing, visualize yourself having this thing already in its existence. It could be the success that you've been seeking, the house that you've been wanting to have, the car that you've been wanting to have, the amount of money that you've been wanting to have, the promotions, the job, the soulmate, the life partner, the love of your life that you always wanted to have. If you can even vividly imagine this in the theater of the mind, and that's why at the beginning of this video I said mind games, and if you could hold on to that for long enough, who's to say that you cannot also make this into a reality? So why did I suddenly feel like talking about this topic? Well, the thing is this, as you know, I've been journaling for a very long time. I like to use 750words.com. That's a website that I personally find quite handy, but some of you, I know you write out into a notepad thing, or perhaps some of you just write into a pen and paper diary. For this site, right, 750words.com, I typically set a goal for myself to write as often as possible, preferably every day, but realistically, I tend to do about 4 or 5 days a week. And each time I write, the goal is to hit 750 words or more without excessive pausing, and typically to do this within 30 minutes or less. The fastest I've ever done is about 12 minutes, but there have been the times where mental blocks and stuff, 40 something minutes, averagely about, say, 25 minutes is the norm. And there were the times where I write, I try to forward visualize, and I get some kind of mental blocks. It's like there are some days where I get so passionate in writing out this thing. My journal entries, they could be reflections, they could be rants, they could be random thoughts on my mind that I just type, whatever. Many videos ago, I even talked about how I even projected a consciousness into my writing. Recently, I did, however, come across a little bit of a drought in this journaling. And I want to share with you today how I got around it. Neville Goddard says, if you want something to happen, right, you want to put yourself in the frequency of having it. And the best times to do so are before you sleep and when you wake up. The scientific reasons for this is that in those times of the day, when we wake up and before we sleep, our mind is in an alpha frequency, or an even more optimal frequency. In addition, the reason why we go to sleep with that idea or we wake with that idea is because having done that programming, it sets a lens for us to experience our sleep. For example, we are resting as a millionaire. We are awaking as a successful entrepreneur. It sets the lens for you. By holding those thoughts, you are able to go about today as this person that you want to be. Or if what you seek is to have a relationship with a certain person that is suitable for you. Maybe you don't even know how this person looks like, but you do have some ideas about certain attributes. Could you at least imagine that, right? Imagining that as you go to sleep, that you have this happy, fulfilling life with this person. Even though your life conditions right now could be a total opposite to what you want to have. But who's to prevent you from seeing it in your mind? Mind games. One thing that I found out is that some of you have heard of something called the future diary technique. The future diary technique has been one of the most effective techniques that I have used to manifest a lot of things into my life. In fact, when I write my journal, I like to do a future diary. I'll say what a month from today would look like, or what a year from today will look like. And I just write it out very descriptively. But as I mentioned, I did also get mental blocks until I found out that why not write about things that you are passionate about? Could it be possible you are not so passionate about the money in your bank account than the lifestyle that this money could bring you? Great, then go for the angle of the lifestyle. Write about the lifestyle. How would your lifestyle look like if you had that amount of money already in your existence? Some of you could be manifesting a job promotion, manifesting a job opportunity. But then again, you don't feel passionate to even try to visualize a day in the life of this job or this opportunity as much as perhaps maybe you are more excited about if I got to this position, the networking opportunities that this position might provide me. I might just meet the love of my life. Go from that angle instead. So such a scene could be like, you went to this corporate gathering and somewhere by the buffet tables or the cocktail reception before the actual event begins, you come across this person with long hair, with pink streaks perhaps, and walking in from afar. She has very peculiar fashion sense, a mishmash of very striking colors. Many people would consider her style to be over the top. But for you, it's the person that you always ever wanted to meet. And it so happens that this person has the same peculiar habit as you. When she goes over to the slushy machine, she mixes half a cup of raspberry soda with Coke. And you're like, what? I just did that over here and she's doing the same thing. And you walk over there, cheers. This was just a very random rant that I came up with. But how did that feel for you? Wouldn't this kind of scenario, this kind of a creative muse be more exciting for you? If so, just use it in your writing. Use it as you journal. Do your future journals from this point of view, using this style that excites you, that makes you passionate. And times when I do things just like this, the journal entry, I get so carried away that I don't just simply write 750 words, but I go into like 1,200 words. And it's not just the writing that's vivid. I even go to the point of imagining. So let me share an entry of you, right? This is a section of one of the journal entries I've done, and I want to read to you a section that I was carried away a night out. Here we are at 6 degrees external temperature. We're walking along the brightly lit streets in Hongdae in Seoul. We can see signs for bingsu. We're thinking, who will want to eat that even when it's so cold out? Our face masks are barely keeping us warm. It's fun just as we breathe out because it's fog, like as though we're vaping or something. At this point in time, we're thinking beer and chicken wings. We have a choice of eating outdoors or downstairs with a heater in a family diner, except that the colors are kind of cringe and I think outside is nicer. She agrees. We can people watch in the process. Not too far away, we can hear the sound of a band of buskers singing, probably in the amphitheater nearby. It's some popular songs we recognize from TikTok and also from some TV series. We make it a point to go over later. We ordered from the menu the one with spicy sauce and also the one with coleslaw and onion. It's kind of like what they call the yangnyeom. We giggle as we see some of the couples out and about. Suddenly we look at each other. We engage each other in a staring match. I lose. She pretends to move in as though to kiss. And then she says she tricked me. And at that moment, I'm feeling like, wow, we're no different from those couples out there. From the recesses of my mind, music starts playing. Even though the band is singing great, but I can hear this music outplaying the ones out there. We're in Korea, but a particular Thai music track from the band Cocktail is playing so vividly and clearly, as though it's from the Violet speakers. It's one of those songs that the lead singer from Cocktail Band, he played at his wedding. At that point, I tell her, can you just take off your gloves for a moment? I'm talking about the gloves that we're provided to eat chicken wings. I want to hold your hands. She laughs and agrees. From hand-holding, we progress into an embrace. Even though separated by our thick winter clothing and down feather vest, but heck, a hug is a hug. It's like Olaf in Frozen. Olaf loves warm hugs. I start to hum the tune of the song and I sing it. Surprisingly, she knows the tune too. Before we know it, we're actually dancing in the moonlight. So, What's your vivid story gonna be? As you write, and as I wrote, it was literally like a daydream. It was so multi-sensory. Like as I thought about the music, I felt it. And this is where it is said that the mind cannot distinguish, especially in the alpha frequency, it cannot distinguish what's real and what's not real. And being able to soak into the feeling, like Neville Goddard says, the feeling is the secret. All you have to do is to be able to put yourself into the version of you that has done this, has this, so it shall be. If you don't already have a journal, if you don't already have a blog, or you're not in the habit of journaling, but you just wanted to try, you're also most welcome to even share your journal as a comment to this video. And I thank you in advance for your sharing. I'm sure it's gonna encourage a lot of other viewers of this video too. What's gonna happen in the next days, weeks, months, or even year or two is that you're gonna experience exactly what you just wrote about, as though it's deja vu. This is how the universe works. This is how things are made manifest. As long as you are convinced that this is true, as long as you believe this to be true, the universe cannot not give this to you. And at this point of time, I was just reminded of someone I met during networking sessions like way back, I think 10-20 years ago. His name is David Wee. If you're watching this, if you come across this video, I hope you're doing well and you're in good health. David Wee gave himself a tagline. He called himself the unreasonable optimist. So can we all be unreasonable optimists for a moment? Just so that we can get that feeling. And the feeling is the secret. For another great video, watch this one over here.